Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? I know this seems a bit early, but okay, so Yaha is coming over to sleep at our house tonight, and I don't know if I told you guys in one of my previous vlogs, but every sixth Tuesday of the month, I think, um, yeah, every sixth Tuesday of the month or something like that, Yaha comes over and sleeps in this very room. And so due to that, I took a shower pretty early today, and I decided that I should get this vlog done and out of the way before Yaha comes over. My mom said it isn't for a while yet, but I kind of want to, go down to the basement. So, yeah, just gonna get this vlog done and out of the way before then. So, anyways, just a side note. But anyways, I'm thinking about reading Nightmare Sans' story today. In the last vlog, I read Cross, and since, Nightmare is kind of the main villain of Cross's story, I figured, why not read about Nightmare next? You know? Plus, he's kind of one of my favorite villains. Don't really know why. I think he's just cool. Plus, his story is kind of the easiest to understand. I mean, Cross's story was kind of gibberish. So yeah. So let me pull it up real quick. Sans Wiki. Alright, here we are. Nightmare Sans. Okay. Let's see if I think I'm in the right one. This probably won't be as too long of a reading as the last one, and it probably won't be as complicated either as Cross's story, but I'm still gonna try to read it as slow as possible so that some of you can at least understand what I'm saying, even if like half of you that's watching this already know Nightmare's story and why he is the way he is. But yeah. And like with the last one, I'm also going to be stopping at some points to commentate on a few elements. So yeah. So with that out of the way, let's start reading. Starting with his personality, which I don't know why they're starting off with the personality. I mean, the last in Cross's story, they start off with his origins, but this one apparently doesn't. I mean, I guess in a way that's kind of a good thing, that they're not following the same order, because then that makes this reading a lot less boring. So yeah, personality. Nightmare's demeanor is completely different to as he was before corruption took over his body, though they still share some similarities. Even before the bullying and corruption, which I'll read that later, Nightmare has been the more cocky and proud between him and Dream. He tries to remain serious and has always been interested in learning, both normal and corrupted. Ooh, interested in learning. That's interesting. I certainly didn't know that about his character. He is deceiving without remorse, willing to do anything to get his way and destroy every universe of negativity. He could pose as erratic, unpredictable, and evil. The corrupted Nightmare never lies, only hiding the truth under coded words. He shares no respect for any other monster he encounters, including Error or anyone who protects the multiverses. Yeah, the second paragraph I kind of expected from the few animations I watched, though I didn't know he was interested in learning. I mean, that didn't really seem too noticeable in his character for me, or at least not in canon animations. Alright. Appearance. His current appearance is quite sinister, as he is covered in a thick goop. One can see the outline of shorts and a hoodie, which shares a similar resemblance to the other attire of original Sans. He is entirely black and goopy, with usually about 4 tentacles coming out of his back. His left eye is constantly illuminated in battle blue, which, in case you guys don't know, battle blue is like, what it means by battle blue, it means that whenever Sans is about to fight someone, you know how his eye suddenly glows like a blue yellow, mostly a blue? Yeah, that's basically what this is saying here. That Nightmare Sans' eye is always like, the eye, like glowing in that battle blue color that Sans illuminates whenever he's about to fight someone. So, yeah, just to clarify that for you guys. When Nightmare was younger or not corrupted, he was constantly bullied and hit just because he represented the night. He had a crown just like Dream, purple clothing with a bit of gold accents, black pants that were tucked into purple boots with gold. Ooh, I think purple and gold is a very pretty color combination. Really royal-like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, past. There's quite a bit to read here, but hopefully this story makes a lot more sense than Cross's story. Okay, past. Passive Nightmare decided he had enough and tried to prove himself. He was tired of all the hatred. He couldn't even think straight anymore. Everyone respected Dream, or so he thought, so he was certain the only way to prove he was not some useless punching bag was to show everyone that he could protect the same things he did. Nim had explained them many things about how the tree worked, such as what kind of effects the apples had on people, etc. But she never told them they could not touch each other's apples, or else they would turn into the opposite energy. The apple he took got corrupted, and then so did every other apple, and then so did the tree itself. It stopped spreading positive energy through its roots, so boundless negativity began to contaminate the entire world. Everyone went silent, everything started to wither, and even the sky began to darken, which was what Dream and Neil saw. Dream's immediate thought was that something had happened to his brother. Neil tried to stop him from rushing back to the village, fearing what was out there, but that didn't stop Dream from running off, and against his better judgment, Neil decided not to follow. Dream came back just as the negativity started affecting the nearby people as well. They were already filled with unreasonable hatred, but that hatred quickly turned into mindless rage toward the one being they loathed and blamed for the loss of their world. They were all going to kill Nightmare, and Nightmare was not going to do anything to defend himself. He was too scared, too ashamed, too helpless, because all he had ever known was that that he was there to be hated, and he had just destroyed the one thing he was meant to protect. Dream tried to stand in front of the villagers, trying to keep them away from his brother, but they just walked right through him, knocking him unconscious in the process. Nightmare heard the voice of a man coming from the black apples, telling him to eat them and get stronger or he would die. It was the voice of a man, very different from others. Page 28 of the Dream Tale comic. This is the voice of the man who murdered Nim, as known as seemingly one of Quetzalcoatl's creations, the killer of their mother. So utterly corrupted, his essence, conscience, and soul was absorbed in the negative side of the tree. When he died, they'd decided, and had remained trapped at the negative side of the tree ever since, giving its side more powerful than it should have had without Dream or Nightmare ever knowing so. This is who you know as corrupted Nightmare. As Nightmare ate more and more apples, his body began to break, as it couldn't withstand the energy of it. The power consumed him. His body snapped and cracked apart. He let this person take control as he promised to protect him from everything. This, of course, was a lie. And with it, the nightmare dream knew. And then the nightmare dream knew as his brother was gone. Corrupted Nightmare is not actually protecting Nightmare. He's a horrible man who wants every single person in the multiverse to be negative and erase positive feelings from existence. He killed their entire AU. He used Nightmare's fear, Nightmare's pain, Nightmare's suffering. He manipulated him and used him to gain a body. Wait a minute. So you're telling me that the reason Nightmare was doing all this wasn't from his own fruition, but rather an evil being is controlling him? What? Oh my god, I did not know that. So this man So, he's apparently a man, an evil man who is this person's creations. I can't pronounce that name again because I'm probably going to get it completely wrong. So they killed their mother, and he was so evil that he was corrupt. He was absorbed by the negative side of the tree, and is now getting revenge, I guess. But still. Okay, let's read his abilities. Nightmare is very powerful. He is powerful enough to trap people in stone, like he did to Dream. He has an army of dark papyri, that are similar to Underfell papyrus in stature. He could turn into a puddle and move around without being noticed, like a shadow. He is able to teleport through the darkness. He can only visit AUs with negative emotions, like Negatail, and he can use bad emotions to manipulate people. He can change his form, but keeps his current form because he's comfortable with it. He uses his tentacles to fight and make him look bigger than he really is. He can also whisper to people with ongoing negative emotions, as in mind controlling them. He's immune to weapons. If stabbed, it causes no damage and he'll absorb it. If not dropped, the weapon will be trapped in black goop and start to melt. He can also fall/jump from a great height without sustaining damage. Whenever he jumps and falls/jumps, the ground underneath him breaks. Weaknesses. Positivity. He's disgusted by positive emotions. If you can't make them negative, he'll just leave, since it weakens him. He's also completely unable to enter positive AUs. A barrier prevents him from entering. A similar thing happens to Dream with negative AUs. Because he only has one eye to see, he has a blind spot. And his relationship is just Dream, which is basically his main enemy. But still, I thought, all along that Dream was, and then Nightmare is just doing all this through for his own will. But I guess in a way Nightmare is kind of contributing. I don't know. So I figured, since we're on the subject of Dream, that I read Dream's story too really quickly. I don't really like how it keeps calling him Corrupted Nightmare. I mean, I usually just call him Nightmare for short. Get out of here. Okay. Alright, there he is. There he is. Okay, this back. Everything. Okay. Maybe this will give us a bit of background on Nightmare 2 in a way. A Dream. Dream is a protagonist of ongoing series Dream Tale. He's a light being in a skeletal vessel that is designed to be the future guardian of feelings. He's currently under training after 494 years of imprisonment? What? What? Why was he imprisoned? Please let the background tell us. Dream, along with his brother, Nightmare, was conceived from the tree feeling by Nim to guard it as she was recovering from a deadly battle. She then gave them humanoid forms, but the two exploded as though couldn't withstand the emotional powers that the two emit. In a rush, she then created new skeletal vessels based on the first skeleton monster she observed, Swap Sands. The vessels proves to be effective as the powers flow freely through their bones. She then rests back into the tree as the twin brothers perform their duties. One day, Dream left the tree to pay his friend, Neil, a visit. However, when he returns, he found that all of the apples turned black and Nightmare surrounded by an angry mob. While Dream tries to calm the mob down, Nightmare was tempted by the spirit of the man that nearly slew their mother to devour the black apple. He did, and the vengeful spirit took over, devouring all the fruits from the trees save for one. Dream managed to protect the last golden apple and used it in the vain attempt to defeat the corruption that took his brother away. But the malicious being prevails, and the poor guardian of light was turned to stone. Unable to corrupt the final fruit, the vengeful being left the realm of feelings after he destroyed the tree itself. 494 years later, Neil managed to conceive the guardian of magic, Lanny, to release Dream of his prison, as it was revealed that Nightmare is plotting a scheme that would threaten all of existence itself. Oh, okay, so that's what it means when he was in prison for 494 years. His brother turned him to stone for that long. Oh my goodness. Thank God Neil was managed to save the day. Otherwise, poor Dream would probably be dead. Alright, personality. As a byproduct of positive energy, Dream display a quirky, yet not so confident personality. While he is too talkative and overdramatic, he does give concern that something terrible could happen and, in response, tries to settle down the issue. Appearance. Dream is similar to the original Sans. Dream wears a golden crown on his head. He previously wore a light blue jacket with slightly darker pants. The jacket is closed with a golden belt with the initials DS on it, standing for Dream Sans. On the sides of the belt, little bells were attached. To finish it, he had boots that matched with his belt. He also had a golden cape that was tied up with a badge. He now has an outfit of black, stocking-like pants and a withered light yellow coat with tips of cyan. He still sports a golden crown and belt, but the belt is now cyan with only the DS initials being gold in color. Powers and abilities. Empathy. Granted by the golden apple of positive emotions, he can feel the emotions of all beings in existence and use their positive emotions as power. He has not yet utilized it to its full potential. Positive transport. He can teleport himself and others to any place in the existence as long as there's positive emotions. Positive mending. He can heal anyone, though that would use up a large bunk of his powers to do so. I think it meant large chunk, but whatever. Positive aura. As a being of positive emotions, his aura brings out the positive emotions of all that surrounds him. Immortality / invincibility. stated Dream's apple cannot be destroyed nor damaged by anything besides other guardians, along with being attached to the concept of positivity. Relationships. Nim. Creator and mother are the two brothers. Created the two as backup guardians as she heals from the wound inflicted by her assailant, and perished by the hand of corrupted Nightmare. God, he killed his own mother. That's awful. Nightmare Sand's brother. Nightmare is Dream's brother who was frequently bullied by the villagers for his role as the guardian of negativity. Dream always showed concern for him whenever he saw him injured, but Nightmare always reassured him that he was fine. He perished when Corrupted and Nightmare convinced him to eat the dark apples, which allowed him to take over his body. Corrupted Nightmare. Enemy. Corrupted Nightmare is the entity responsible for the events of Dreamtale, who came to the Tree of Feelings to obtain the gold apple for ultimate power. Though he successfully in mortality, wounding the tree's guardian, Nim, she dealt a finishing blow to him. He was absorbed by the negative side of the tree, and he later took over Nightmare's body when he ate the dark apples. After he destroyed Dreamtale and turned Dream to stone for centuries, they've been enemies. There is still a part of Nightmare in Corrupted Nightmare. Neil. He becomes Dream's best friend after he shows him kindness, and sees him as the son he'd lost. He, later on, helps him while he was stuck in stone along with the Guardian of Magic by taking him away from Nightmare, though he ends up dying at some yet unknown point. Lanny. Dream's reluctant mentor and guardian of the Tree of Magic. She frees Dream from his stone prison after realizing the threat that Corrupted Nightmare posed to all existence. She still holds a grudge against Dream for his brother's corruption and his mother's death. Ink Sands. Disagreeable ally. Ink and Dream had a good relationship, though it was rarely ever seen. Very rarely seen. Often bonded more due to both of them having very similar intentions. However, Ink more interested in protecting Dream as he's aware of the consequences of his death. This brings conflict to the two, since Ink doesn't want anyone to deviate from the scripts that the creator gave for their AUs, and prioritize that over the well-beings of the inhabitants. Core Frisk, helpful ally. Though Core can't perceive beyond their territory that is the Undertale multiverse, namely the realms of the two other trees of life and magic, they're determined to help the young guardian in their quest to avenge their world. Unlike Ink, they simply did it as it is their purpose to ensure everyone have a happy ending. Alright, so that's Dream. Yeah, a lot of people, as well as with Nightmare, Dream's story is also pretty easy to understand if you read the wiki just enough. And I certainly didn't know that Nightmare was forced to do it. I thought he did it from his own free will, to be honest. It looked like that in the animations. But yeah, with those two silly stories out of the way, I'm gonna have to end this vlog here. And yeah, I'm gonna go down in the basement to watch some Family Guy. We downloaded Hulu on our basement TV recently, and Family Guy's on Hulu, and I've been wanting to watch Family Guy for a while, so now I can watch it, and I'm very happy about that. So yeah, I'm gonna go down there and do that, and I will see you all tomorrow night. Goodbye, everybody!